Okay, now we're up to probably the best video you're going to see in this whole course. And we're in our last section of videos now. And this is the great part of the .NET framework, web application deployment. Let's take a look at what's involved here. To deploy an ASP.NET web application, I should have gone out and gotten a WAV file for a drum roll, made a big deal out of this, because I'm going to show you just how complex and complicated deploying a web app is. And here it goes. Copy the necessary files to the web server. That's it. That's all that's involved. Let me give you the rest of the story here. If you're in a .NET framework and you're not calling any old COM components, then all you have to do is copy files to the web server. It gets a little more complicated if you're coexisting with previous VB6 type applications. But for now, understand all you really have to do for an ASP.NET web app, copy the files. There is no DLL registration. Now, there are DLL files. One of the big misconceptions when .NET first was unleashed was that DLLs had gone away, and that's not true. We lost the hassle of DLLs, but we still have DLLs. They just don't have to be registered anymore. Here's the real 3 steps that you have to do. Number 1, build your application. You can't deploy it till you build it. Number 2, remove unnecessary files. And then number 3, copy the files that are left to a production environment. Now, what are unnecessary files? Let's take a look at those. Well, actually, let's look at the necessary files first. We need everything that's in the /bin directory in our web app. And these are basically DLL files. We need our web form files. Those are anything that's labeled with an extension of ASPX. We need any user control files that are out there, ASCX. And we need any XML web service files, ASMX. And when we've got those, we're cooking. Add our configuration files, config and ASAX, and we're done. And we're ready to deploy that. Now, if there are any additional support files, if you have any XML resource files or anything else, graphics that you're using and so forth, grab those. Now let's talk about files that are not necessary. Because what's going to happen is you're going to build a solution, and out there in that solution tree in Visual Studio, there's going to be a lot of stuff. Now, it's not that these aren't necessary, it's just that they're not necessary anymore. For example, your VB project file, your web info files, and so forth. We use these to build the application. But then when we compile the application, the information in these files actually get compiled and written into DLL files, which means we don't need, these are more or less the source files right here. We want to save those so we can make changes later, but we don't need to stick those on the web server. Resource files, RESX, we don't need those. And we don't need code behind pages. The pages with .VB if you're using Visual Basic.NET or .CS if you're using C#. These code behind and resource files, again, get compiled into DLL files, and these are being taken care of. In the previous page, we talked about grabbing those DLL files. Now, that's it. Just simply copy them over there, and you're ready to go. You don't have to register anything. You don't have to do any jumping through hoops. It's just going to work. You're going to copy these into a virtual directory on the web server, and then just simply navigate to that virtual directory via HTTP from any browser, and you'll see your web app take place. Now, in the next video, we're going to talk about some deployment issues, and then we'll finish out the course.